Hello, I'm Jonathan Levy.
And I'm Grant Dennison, and you obviously clicked on this video because you want to know a little bit more about Dash Digital Cash. Jonathan, what is the first most important thing they need to know about Dash?
Well, you have to know that Dash is a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. And cryptocurrencies have a lot of really unique special features, and we think Dash is even more special. So first we're going to tell you about what makes crypto special, but then we're going to tell you the extra special features of Dash. So first of all, cryptocurrency is a digital international currency that you can send to anyone, anywhere in the world with just a smartphone or a computer.
That's a bit of a mouthful, so let's try to piece that out. So you're saying, for example, I can be in Brazil having won the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Championship for the third year in a row.
I mean, it's ridiculous, the run, but yes.
And you can be in Connecticut in your bedroom. You know,
doing what I do.
Yeah, needing money for something because you always need money from me for some reason. And you can want that money from me and you can ask for it and I can send it to you just using my smartphone and you can receive it and there's no problem internationally?
There's no problem at all. In fact, it's way faster. Normal ways of sending money internationally take days. This takes, with pretty much any cryptocurrency, 30 minutes to an hour. So it's much faster. And there's no processing of any kind. You don't have to go through anybody.
There's no middleman telling me I can't send the money?
Right. It's like you're basically standing there handing me the money. Like I'm next to you in Brazil, except I get to be in my bedroom in
Connecticut?
In Connecticut.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is good. Now, there's a second feature also that's really important about cryptocurrency, and it's self-banking, which sounds kind of boring, but is actually awesome and important to know about.
Well, to understand self-banking, first we have to understand what central banking is, and that's kind of the banking system the whole world runs on. It's a system we were running on during the Great Depression.
Yeah.
That's a great example of why central banking isn't always the best.
Because there was a run on the banks in the Great Depression, if you recall. I know Grant does.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so people could not get their money out of the banks. The banks control the money instead of the people controlling the money. And while I know you could say, well, that was 100 years ago. Who cares? It's not like that anymore. It actually is like that still. It's like that all across the world. Fairly regularly, somewhere there's a run on the banks and the banks get shut down. This happened recently in Zimbabwe. It happened in Greece not that long ago also. And by the way, it happened in Rhode frickin' Island in the 1990s, where there was a banking crisis and people had to wait months and in some cases years to get their money out of the bank, which is ridiculous.
Can you imagine how frustrating that would be? You're getting your paycheck, you're putting it in the bank, you assume the bank is solvent, they're gonna pay you your money, this is gonna be great. You go to the bank, you say, I want $100, I have $10,000 in my account. They say, nope. I don't have that money for you. That's frustrating. And with self-banking, with cryptocurrency, you never deal with that because you are your own bank. You control everything.
So that's why we think cryptocurrencies in general are really great. But Dash is extra special and it has a number of features we really want to tell you about.
Probably the most notable feature is how cheap it is to send Dash. In that transaction I was talking about after my victorious fight in Brazil, when I would send Jonathan that money, it would cost me 1 cent. That's a lot less than credit card fees, let alone pretty much any other fee in the world.
I mean, 1 cent, by the way, no matter how much he wants to send me. So Grant could send me $10 or he could send $10 million. It doesn't matter. It's still just 1 penny. And by the way, I get it super fast.
Yeah, he gets to see it on his phone or his computer right away, and then it's spendable within about 6 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, watch this right here. See, Grant's got the money in his phone. He's gonna send it to me. Oh, look, now it's in my phone, just like that. And by the way, we're right next to each other, but I could be in China and we'd have the same experience.
That's true. So if you wanted to spend that, you might have to wait 6 minutes, but let's say you really need it right now. That's doable with Dash, and this is unique to Dash. Dash has a feature called Instant Send, which is exactly what it sounds like. You use Instant Send instead of the normal send, and it is instantaneous. It takes 1 to 4 seconds for that transaction to happen, and that costs only 10 cents.
10 cents for instantaneous stuff. And that may not seem like something that's that necessary for a lot of people. You think, well, if I want to give money to my friend, it's okay if it takes 6 minutes before it's spendable. And that's true. But if you want to buy coffee from Starbucks or something from Target, they don't necessarily want to wait 6 minutes before they let you walk away with their merchandise. So Instant Send facilitates that and makes it so Dash can be adopted in the greater world.
Right, and speaking of Dash being adopted in the greater world, they're always working towards that goal, and to that end they have something that's really cool. It's called the Dash Treasury. Now, it's a bit confusing, but it's also really interesting. Every month, 10% of all new Dash that's created is put to the Dash Treasury, which is then used to reinvest into the Dash community via projects that are funded through the Treasury.
Yeah, that's 6,600 Dash, which is millions upon millions of dollars every single month. And these dollars go to projects like building infrastructure, software development, creating different publicity things like viral videos. And even world welterweight MMA champion Rory McDonald won the title with Dash as his sponsor. He was wearing Dash across the chest. He had a Dash hat on after he had won. He was giving his interviews. That was funded by the Treasury.
Right, so the Treasury is always working to make Dash better, and we're gonna see it get better even though it's already so good. It's so cool. Anyway, that's about all we have to say about Dash for now, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if you want to get started, the easiest way to get going is to download the Dash wallet. You can get it in your app store. If you have a computer, you can just Google it. You'll be able to find it really easily. It's free, and that means now you can send and receive Dash, which is definitely the first step.
That sounds like a pretty good idea. I would get on that. And if you have any questions about this video, feel free to leave them in the comments.
Thanks for watching.